A week ago, you were the same person you are today. The same habits, the same excuses, the same doubts, but also the same possibility of changing everything. Not through empty promises or a burst of temporary motivation. Through firm, daily decisions that compound into something the world cannot take from you. This is not another video about self-improvement. This is a statement. If you practice these things every single day, within 1 week, you will begin to see yourself differently. Not because magic happened, because you chose transformation over comfort, clarity over noise, discipline over impulse. Today you will discover 10 Stoic disciplines that have shaped calm, strong, and genuinely free people throughout history. Not just beautiful ideas, but principles that form character. You will learn to see obstacles as opportunities, to stop reacting from impulse and start responding with wisdom, to remove what does not serve you, to act not from what you feel like doing, but from what needs to be done. If you want to live as the best version of yourself, begin living that way now. This video is for those ready for deep internal transformation. Stay until the end. Every one of these lessons carries the power to give you what you have long been searching for. Before we begin, go to the comments and write, "Today I begin my transformation." Feel those words. Make them yours. Because every great change begins with a single decision. Now let's start. 1. Train your mind every day, like a muscle. Mental training is a daily decision, not an occasional act. Just as muscles grow through consistent effort, the mind develops through the thoughts you choose to cultivate and the actions you choose to take. Every time you choose silence over provocation, every time you focus when everything around you tries to pull your attention away, you are training your inner resilience. The mind, like the body, adapts to what you repeat. If you consistently practice complaint, avoidance, and distraction, that is what grows stronger. If you consistently practice focus, self-control, and deliberate reflection, those capacities grow instead. The difference between a weak mind and a strong one is not intelligence. It is training. A disciplined mind is free, calm, and capable. An untrained mind becomes a prisoner of its own emotions, impulses, and fears. Training your mind means observing yourself without judgment, correcting yourself without guilt, and demanding more from yourself without punishment. It means turning discomfort into a teacher, routine into a tool, and the present moment into your practice ground. Do this every day, not only when you feel inspired, especially when you do not, because those are the moments when real character is forged. 2. Turn every obstacle into an opportunity. Most people see obstacles as brakes, as barriers that stop them from moving forward. But the Stoics saw them differently. Every challenge is a test and a chance to grow. Think about it. Every great achievement in history was born from difficulty. The greatest leaders, builders, and philosophers of any era all faced hardship. Rather than surrendering to it, they found ways to transform it into something valuable. Marcus Aurelius said, "What stands in the way becomes the way." What today appears to be your greatest problem may turn out to be the most important gift you ever received, if you choose to look at it from a different angle. Failure is not the end, it is a lesson. Every mistake is a chance to become more capable. Every setback redirects you somewhere worth going. Every fall teaches you to rise with greater strength. The key is the shift in perspective. The next time you face an obstacle, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" That single question divides the ordinary response from the Stoic one. An obstacle can make you weaker or make you stronger. Everything depends on how you choose to receive it. 3. Do not react. Respond with wisdom. Impulsiveness is one of the most consistent enemies of self-control. In life, you cannot always govern what happens to you, but you can always govern how you respond. Most people do the opposite. They react without thinking, driven by anger, fear, or frustration. This is dangerous. An impulsive reaction can damage a relationship in seconds, close a door in an instant, and redirect the entire course of your life in a direction you did not choose. The Stoics understood something critical. Your strength lies not in the external situation, but in the ability to remain calm inside it. Epictetus taught, "It is not the events that wound us, it is our thoughts about them." The problem does not cause your pain. Your interpretation does. Your reaction does. How many times have you said or done something in anger and later wished you had not? Emotions are temporary, but the consequences of what we do with them can last for years. That is why, before saying or doing anything, you stop. Give yourself a moment to assess the situation with a clear head. Breathe, think, then act. This is what genuine strength looks like. Here is a practical Stoic exercise. The next time something triggers an immediate reaction in you, pause for 3 full seconds. Ask, "Is this worth my energy? How would the best version of me respond? Will my reaction help solve this or make it worse?" In most cases, you will realize that calm, strategic action is always the superior choice. Self-control is power. Do not allow circumstances or other people to determine your inner state. You have the authority, and when you exercise that authority over your own responses, the world stops running you. 4. Be immovable in your principles and flexible in everything else. In a world where opinions shift and pressure comes from every direction, your principles are the anchor that keeps you from being swept away. Being firm in your principles does not mean being rigid. It means having absolute clarity about what you are not willing to sacrifice. Your integrity, your honesty, your respect for yourself. These inner boundaries define who you are, even when no one is watching. When you are grounded in your principles, you become steady in the right way, not out of stubbornness, but out of truth. You do not bend for approval. You do not reshape yourself for convenience. You walk your path honestly, even when it is harder. Because losing your values costs more than losing any argument, any relationship, or any temporary advantage. But genuine firmness is not absolute rigidity. Wisdom lies in knowing what must remain non-negotiable and what can adapt. Not every situation requires a battle. Not every change is a betrayal. Changing your mind when you have genuinely learned something new is not weakness, it is maturity. Flexibility means moving with circumstances without losing yourself. Like a tree with deep roots that bends in the wind but does not break. Hold your principles firmly. Keep your mind open. That combination builds something rare. A character that is both strong and genuinely wise. 5. Remove what is not essential. We live in a world saturated with things, distractions, and obligations. We are constantly told what we supposedly need to be happy, successful, or complete. But in reality, to achieve inner peace and grow toward who you are capable of becoming, you need to release what is not essential. The Stoics practiced simplicity because they understood. Real wealth is not accumulation. It is the freedom that comes from an uncluttered mind and an uncluttered life. Epictetus taught, "It is not what you have, but how you manage it, that determines the quality of your life." A life overloaded with things, expectations, and unnecessary commitments distracts you from what genuinely matters. The more you accumulate, the more those things, along with the anxiety of maintaining them, hold you in place. Release what is not essential, not just in the physical sense, but mentally, emotionally, and socially. If something does not contribute to your peace, your growth, or your well-being, it is time to let it go. This includes draining relationships, commitments that no longer align with who you are, and the social obligations you have been maintaining out of habit rather than genuine care. Minimalism is a form of discipline. It teaches you to value what is real. You stop searching for satisfaction in the superficial and start concentrating on the deep, on what gives you genuine calm, wisdom, and integrity. When you release what is not essential, you free up the space for what actually is. 6. Do what must be done, not what feels comfortable. Motivation is a temporary phenomenon. It appears sometimes and disappears just as quickly. If you build your life on motivation alone, you will forever be at the mercy of your emotional state. Self-discipline is something different. It is the inner force that moves you forward regardless of how you feel. The Stoics understood, genuine strength means doing what is right, despite what you feel in the moment. When you let emotions govern your decisions, you procrastinate, make excuses, and give up when things get hard. But when you act in accordance with what needs to be done, even when you would rather not, you build a character that can be trusted, a character that holds up under pressure. Self-discipline is not just willpower. It is the deep understanding that your choices today shape your life tomorrow. If you wait until you feel like learning, training, working on what matters, you will always be waiting. But when you decide, "I do this because I must," regardless of your mood, you are building yourself into someone reliable, capable, and genuinely successful. Self-discipline requires sacrifice. It means rising early when you want to sleep, training when you want to rest, working on your goals when you want to be entertained. The discomfort that comes from discipline is temporary. The reward is permanent. It is easy to do what feels good. But what forms you is doing what needs doing, even without the desire. 7. Embrace difficulty and grow through it. Suffering is not optional. At some point, every person faces pain, physical, emotional, or mental. But it is not the pain itself that defines you, it is how you respond to it. Rather than fleeing from discomfort or avoiding it at any cost, the Stoics taught something more powerful. Difficulty is an instrument of transformation. Suffering is not just something to endure, it is an opportunity to become. Epictetus said, "It is not what happened to you that matters, it is how you responded." Every time you encounter pain, you stand before a choice. Will you let it break you, or will you use it to become stronger? When you face hardship, your instinct is to resist or surrender. But genuine strength lies in accepting the difficulty, learning from it, and allowing it to shape you. Every obstacle reveals your weaknesses and tests your inner resilience. Every time you endure difficulty rather than running from it, you become more capable, more grounded, more prepared for what is ahead. Pain challenges you to expand your limits, to move past your fears, to discover what you are actually made of. In the moment it may feel unbearable, but looking back, you will understand that the hardest moments were the ones that forged you most deeply. They pushed you toward the best version of yourself. Do not fear difficulty. Receive it. The more you are able to endure with dignity, the stronger you become. Pain met with wisdom does not just produce someone who survives, it produces someone who rises and transforms. 8. Protect your mental environment. The people you spend the most time with, and the information you consume most consistently, are quietly shaping you, whether you are aware of it or not. Your environment either supports your growth or suppresses it. There is rarely a neutral option. If those closest to you are accepting of mediocrity, resisting the discomfort of growth, and living without intentional direction, it will be genuinely difficult to rise above that current. But if the people around you challenge you, inspire you, and hold a standard that demands more of you, your potential expands accordingly. The Stoics understood this clearly. Seneca wrote, "The people you spend time with are a measure of your character." Your circle of friends, mentors, and colleagues should be chosen with real intention, because they do not merely influence your actions, they shape how you perceive yourself. When you surround yourself with those who ask more of you, you are naturally pushed to grow. It is comfortable to be around people who always affirm you, but it is far more valuable to be around those who challenge you, who will not let you stay small. Your mental environment is also the information you consume. What content do you engage with? What ideas do you allow into your consciousness? If you are surrounded by negativity and distraction, your growth will be limited. But if you deliberately nourish yourself with meaningful ideas and people who are themselves in the process of becoming, your character will begin to transform. Your environment is either your most powerful ally or your most insidious enemy. Choose it consciously. A strong environment builds a strong character, and a strong character is the foundation of a life that is genuinely full. 9. Live as your best self, right now, today. Most people wait until they have achieved success, found peace, or accumulated wisdom before they begin to live in alignment with who they want to be. But the key is to begin living as your highest self right now. The person you want to become is not someone distant in the future. That person already lives within you. They simply need to be expressed through your thoughts, your choices, and your actions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do what is in your power right now." Your future is built from the decisions you make today. If you want to be disciplined, start practicing discipline today. If you want to be wise, make a wise decision right now. Do not wait for ideal circumstances to become who you are striving to be. Living as your best self means acting in accordance with the qualities you admire most in others, and embodying them every single day. If the feeling of disappointment is familiar to you, because you are not yet where you want to be, remember, the first step toward that place is to behave as though you are already on your way. This is not about perfection. It is about consistency. Every action, every decision, every thought. These are opportunities to move closer to the version of yourself that you most respect. Transformation begins with a new mentality and a new way of showing up. The person you are working to become is not a distant dream. It is a choice you can make today. That person already lives within you. Give them permission to emerge. 10. Know where you are going, or your best efforts will go nowhere. Everything else in this list, the discipline, the resilience, the mental training, the environment, all of it works best when it is pointed in a deliberate direction. A ship with no destination is not on a voyage. It is adrift. The Stoics were purposeful people. They did not cultivate strength and wisdom as abstract virtues. They cultivated them in service of a specific kind of life, one that aligned with their deepest values and their clearest sense of what they were here to do. Do you know what you are building? Not just what you want to achieve, but why it genuinely matters to you. The person you are becoming through this work. What does that person look like? How do they move through the world? What do they stand for? Take time with these questions. Not once, regularly. Because your answers will change as you grow. And each time you reconnect with them, you will discover that discipline becomes easier, obstacles feel more navigable, and the daily practices in this video stop being obligations and start being the most natural expression of who you have decided to become. If you have made it to this point, you have already taken the first step. Today we walked through 10 Stoic disciplines, not just to survive, but to take genuine command of your life. Train your mind. Act with purpose. Govern your emotions. Live as your best self. This is not a transformation that happens in one day, but it begins with daily decisions. Take even one of these ideas and practice it consistently. And watch how your environment begins to shift, because you are shifting from within. Thank you for your time and your attention. I will see you in the next one.